Hi friends, welcome back to my channel Heal Live to Rise. My name is Carla. Thank you all so very much for joining me here. Truly appreciate every single one of you, all of your love, support, and kindness to the channel. Of course, if you are new, welcome. I hope you'll become a part of this wonderful, amazing tribe where we talk about all things healing, lifting our vibration, and rising to become the best version of ourselves. I am on this journey with you, friends. So excited, so very honored to be a part of your journey and you a part of mine. Thank you wherever you are tuning into. I had this extraordinary light bulb aha moment, if you will, this morning. And so suddenly, everything started to make sense about my journey, about the things that I experienced, the things that I, had difficulty with experiencing. And, so much of my journey since I went through my dark night of the soul and the spiritual awakening several years ago, I learned a very key important thing, which was to allow uncomfortable feelings to occur. And for me, this was experiencing anxiety because I had dealt with it for 15 years of my life. And then suddenly I faced anxiety. I allowed myself to feel and experience all of that. And it transcended out of my experience. I, at some point, suddenly had no anxiety. I don't experience anxiety anymore that like I used to. So essentially I'm free of it. You could say I was healed from it because that's what I truly feel happened. So a lot of my videos, I talk about so much about feeling, allowing ourselves to feel, because feeling is healing, and it really does, help us and elevate us. And, it has been the basis, like I said, of, my journey and what I've experienced and how I, talk to others and encourage others to feel their emotions. Well, I had this aha moment, and it's amazing. I was listening to this like podcast, and something the lady said sparked this like spiral of information to kind of like come through me, and it started connecting like all the dots of everything that I've experienced up until this point and my understanding up until this point. And I just had to I was writing this down because it was just kind of coming through. So I, quickly had grabbed my phone and then of course transferred it onto notebook. But all of this was just coming through, and I was like, I have to share this because I have to send this to somebody's got to hear this. Somebody is gonna get it. Somebody's gonna have to get this light bulb moment too. And I hope this message is a light bulb moment for you. If not, no biggie, but I really want it to help people out there and for somebody to get it, because as long as I've been on this journey, as many people that I've listened to, as many books that I have read, I feel like nothing was as simple as, the small message that came through, and then everything just kind of started to just connect. And I wanted to share it with you. We cannot experience the wholeness of what we are if we are unwilling to accept the wholeness and fullness of who we are. We must face and integrate our shadow in order to elevate and expand and come into a realization we are all of that which we experience. All of that we are willing to feel actually expands us exponentially. Meaning, more of what we allow ourselves to feel allows us to dissolve and transform that energy into light. And we continue to go on holding more light within us, and we are able to make space more for more of what we are not really willing to feel. We make space more within us because we end up holding more light. This all starts with the allowance of the more uncomfortable energy we are unwilling usually to allow ourselves to experience. This is just this is just truly amazing, this moment that it just, like I said, it all connects. We must face it. We must make peace with it. We must sit with it. Essentially, there is nothing to run from. If we run from certain energies that we just don't want to experience, and of course, I'm going to throw in here, if you are experiencing physical abuse or any of those kinds of things or potential threat, of course you run, right? But what I'm talking about here and what I'm referring to is when we don't like something about somebody, and maybe we don't like their tone, their attitude, their, I don't know how to explain it in the sense of, when we tend to like try to classify people as like low vibration or, certain things we are not willing to experience, right? We're actually, in truth, running from our very own shadow and our very own expansion. We end up taking the longer route for expansion every time we run away from the things that we don't want to acknowledge or accept in other people that we really just are saying we don't like about ourselves. So interesting, is it? This is in fact occurring right now on our planet, where so much of the shadow is at the forefront. It's right in our face to see, to experience, to acknowledge, to integrate, because we must face it in order to dissolve it collectively on a collective conscious level, and it both individually too in our own lives. So we must be willing to face our shadow and accept it and integrate that, to understand that that is the gateway to our expansion. It isn't about running from low vibrational energies and, having massive protection over yourself because of low vibrational energies. It's more of an awareness of allowing ourselves to feel the uncomfortable energies that might be classified as low vibrational. Allow ourselves to experience certain feelings and energies in certain situations and integrate that and have awareness of what we're experiencing. Allow it to occur. Allow us to feel angry, to feel mad, to feel sad, to grieve, whatever we are experiencing that might be heavy. Allow space for it, because the more we can allow space to process and integrate heavy, uncomfortable energies, the truth is the more we are allowing more light in, because that's how the light gets in. The light comes in through the darkness, through the heavy energy, through what we are unwilling most times to accept and feel and process. And we are having to really look at the things we have been running from and not wanting to look at, and all the things that we have been judging and shaming and, labeling for so long. We have to learn to face it and accept it. And like I said, this was huge for me. This was like a huge light bulb moment because of all the things that I've experienced. And I have done, a little bit here and there. I've done shadow work and I've gone through the dark night of the soul. So I've had to face shadow, my own shadow, big time. But I have also been able to recognize in my own experience of where I have been not, integrating some of that, where I have, limited myself. Because essentially that's what we do, is that when we are not willing to face certain aspects of ourselves, when we see it in other people, when we are not willing to experience and accept that, we are essentially limiting our own expansion. And we are basically disowning that and saying that, no, that is not light and that is not love. And, every time we push away, instead of integrating it, like I said, we are limiting ourselves. You are essentially making yourself smaller instead of allowing yourself to expand, allowing yourself to feel whatever is coming through and integrate that so it can be dissolved. Because our light, The light within us dissolves that heavy energy, because what happens is, just like I have said before, when I've experienced anxiety, when I have allowed myself to face it, to feel it, it transcends out of my experience. It leaves my experience, meaning the light within me dissolves that energy and opens up, makes space for more energy to come in. And you actually end up having more light within you, and you can and have more opportunities for feeling more light and lighter and more, just more even positive energy. You give yourself that opportunity, the more you allow yourself to feel all the uncomfortable things you are not wanting to feel and look at and accept. So allow yourself to feel uncomfortable feelings. This is the year 2025 where this can be the most transformative year for all of us. If we are willing to face our shadow and understand that there's nothing to run from, in a sense of, the shadow, we have to face it. We have to face it and rise above and integrate that energy. Whatever we are willing and can make space for is actually going to expand us and elevate us to a higher degree. So understand there's nothing to run from. There really is nothing to be afraid of as far as when we are feeling these uncomfortable energies. So I had to share that with you because, like I said, that message came through. It was so profound this morning. It was really a light bulb moment for me. And I feel is changing the trajectory of how I go forward, even in my own journey, and the things that I have not been willing to face or experience, and the tough conversations I have not been willing to have with certain individuals. I feel like this is the gateway for me, and this has been such a big light bulb moment. So I hope it is a light bulb moment for you. Feel free to rewatch it if you really need a better understanding of it, and share it with those that you feel can, you can help, and help them elevate and help them get that light bulb moment too. Until next time, my friends, take very good care. I love you all. Bye.